All right. Welcome, Xtreme, to this very special edition of Meet and Greet. We are excited to make a major announcement. Actually, announcement's been made, but now we're going to go to the next level, which is why we've made this decision and who our new partners are. Let's go ahead and start with a disclaimer here. In no way, shape, or form do we have anything negative at all to say about Revolution Mortgage, our former in-house lender. I couldn't even name a more professional outfit or a classy individual than Rob and his entire team. But we felt the time was right and the opportunity was there for us to do something that we've always wanted to do, and that is to actually open our own branch. And this is a next level up for us. So now what we are introducing is not necessarily a third party company. Hey, we've decided to appoint this company as our preferred lender. No, this is our lender. We are them. They are us. We is us. We are the world kind of thing. So you try to figure that out. So Clear Choice Lending Group has a branch in Davie right now, and it's at Xtreme by LPT. Can I get a big hand? Now, the reason why I'm even more excited is because the individual that we've partnered with, Joey Rivero, it has one of the most sterling reputations in the industry. And this is a gentleman that has been after our business for many, many years now, and he just never gave up. But he was really, really smart that he started working with the one and only Lisa France. And for years, Lisa's been saying, you know what? Joey's amazing. Clear Choice is amazing. You really ought to give him a shot. It's just things were not lining up, but they finally came together. And how happy are you, Lisa, that we finally have made this decision, huh?
Hey, I had to unmute myself. I'm sorry. I am thrilled. I love Joey, his team, everybody that works with him is amazing. And I'm telling you, and I said that the other day, they just get it done. So I'm so excited.
Well, like how many deals would you say you, because what happens is this can't be, and I don't want this to come across in any way, shape, or form that this is a really good deal for Gabi and Tony and Leanette and Joey, but I don't know, is it a really good deal for me? Because ultimately, as real estate agents, what do you care about? You care about, can you be competitive? Are the rates there? Are the programs there? Can you close and everything? How many deals would you say that you've done in the past several years with Joey?
I really don't know. I can just tell you it's been a lot, but I can tell you that every person that I have sent to them is over the moon thrilled with the services they provide. If they tell you, yeah, they're good, they're golden, you're going to be closing it. Just they're so good, and everything is like when you need it, the day you need it, they just get it done. I mean, and I really appreciate that.
No, I and thank you. I mean that comes from, I bet you dollars to donuts. Joey knows how many deals you've done with them. So but you know what? The other thing that's important, if I'm just looking at this from a lender perspective, is are they going to be competitive? Are the rates there? And I'm going to leave it to Joey to go ahead and talk about that. But I'm also very excited that the way everything lined up, Leanette Fernandez was able to also make the move over. So she continues to be the face of, continues to be the face of lending as it pertains to Xtreme. So many of you already know Leanette and have worked with her. And, one of the things that we're really seeking this time around is to have folks that have never given our in-house lender an opportunity. We need to turn that around. We need to go ahead and change that. And I understand loyalty. I appreciate it more than you can ever know. But I think that as the in-house lender, as our own branch and everything else, it would be exceptional that you, at the very minimum, give us a shot at earning your business. That's all we ever ask, is a shot at earning your business. So how are we going to do that? Well, the person that can best explain how is it that we're different. Notice I'm saying we are different, not they are different, because it's us now than the other lenders that are out there, how we're going to compete with programs, rates, and fees and everything else. I want to leave it to the man himself, Joey Rivero. He is on the call with us here. Joey, welcome. We're excited to be working with you. Let me introduce you to Xtreme.
I actually see some familiar faces on here. See you over there, Carol, in the corner hiding. Carol, I've known Carol for a little bit of time now as well, and Lisa, who's closing one of my houses for me extremely quickly. Since we're going to use your Xtreme name, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of business. I've been working with Lisa now. It's been like 5 years probably. I met Lisa over a decade ago when I did her daughter's loan, in like
Yep.
I don't even know 2005 maybe 2000, no, I'm sorry, 15, probably like 15 or 16 when she first graduated nursing school. Um, just so you know, give you a little background. My name's Joey Rivero. I've been the broker owner of this company. I've been in the business for 24 years. Going to be 25 in October. I started in October of 2000. So I know I don't look that old, but I'm going to be 45 this month. So I'm getting there. In my business, I'm like a senior citizen nowadays because the young guns are using technology. And that's one thing that I've gotten to do is I've pivoted and adapted, and we've got the best technology. So really what I want to get into is why, and I know Tony says he's not going to talk, badly about any of the company. And I don't talk bad about any of the company specifically, but I am going to talk bad about retail business versus broker business. And there's a real difference there. And really and truly the difference is to your client. And the way I look at it is referring your client to somebody who's going to give them the best deal. Because at the end of the day, the way we treat our clients is what we've done is we build our referral network. And if, in my opinion, if you're referring your client to either a bank or a retail institution, such as like a Supreme or a Movement or one of these companies out there that are retail, you're doing your client an injustice because you're giving them probably not the best deal that they can get. And yes, they might get great service, and I'm not going to down any of those people because I'm sure they can close deals. But is it the fastest, cheapest, easiest way to do it? And that's what we focus on here, and that's why I'm a broker. So let me just share my screen. I think I should have permission, right? Oh, I got to send requests. I got to get permission. Just want to share my screen. I'm going to do a quick little run through so you can see some stuff and give you guys an idea of the difference between a broker versus retail. Should be able to see. Did everybody see this? All right, cool. So we'll skip this page. This is just a little bit about me. We'll skip this page too, but I've been in the industry, like I said, 25 years. Really and truly what I've guaranteed and what I've done, you're going to hear me say this a lot, is speed solves everything. And one of the things we're known for is closing loans in 10 days or less. I recently just got a clear to close for a client in 3 days. Some of my deals get clear to close in 2 days. Lisa can tell you 99% of the time that we're always available and we're getting things done right away. So, she'll tell you just from working with us how quickly we get things, loan commitment timelines. We need those things strong, fast, so we can make strong offers on deals. And when you're telling someone you can get a clear to close in 10 days and someone else has a 30-day loan commitment, you're going to stand out a lot faster on an offer. And we're able to do that every time, which is really good. And not just for a conventional loan. We can do that for an FHA, for a VA, any kind of a clientele, we can get it done. So it's one of those things that we really focus on, and it's our technology and my manpower. So I can't take all the credit for it. I have an incredible back office that pushes things through. So let me just give you guys an idea. Have a good night. I'll give you a quick an idea of what we do. So mortgage broker, right? So Leanette, she's going to look through, talk to your client. We're going to find the borrower the best lender that's going to suit their needs. Right now, my company, we're signed up with 15 different banks. There are over 100 lending institutions out there I can sign up with. Do I need 100 of them? Absolutely not. That's going to not help you. But we do deal with the top 3 in the country. And then we also have a bunch of accessory lenders, is what I call them, to kind of fill the gap so that there's always going to be a home for a loan. You're going to hear me talk a lot about UWM, United Wholesale Mortgage. If you've ever had an experience with them, they are the biggest, baddest, they're like the Patriots when they were the best. Now that they suck, they're like the Patriots with the Tom Brady years. They have it all down, and they've got the most advanced technology. And I'm happy to say that we're a top 100. They have 12,000 accounts. We're top 100 with them. And I sit on their advisory board. So you're going to notice that we have a lot of, that's part of the reason why we can get loans done so quickly. But the fact that we can actually place your borrower with the loan that they're going to need is huge. We don't just shop interest rate. We have to shop mortgage insurance. We get to get them the best deal on the MI. We get to give them the best deal on the lending fees. So those are the kind of things that we can do for them and give them different options, because options are everything. That one thing where you're getting one option, and it's like, I tell people all the time, if you go to a restaurant and you really got chicken or steak, those are your options. You got two. Or if you have a restaurant that's got 3 pages of items, you're most likely to order one of those 3 pages or leave the restaurant. Options are going to be huge for these bars, and that's something that we do for all of these clients. So as you can see here, us, we're a broker, so we're going to get the lender and the borrower together, being able to shop them around. One credit pool, which is huge. We're not going to hit their credit multiple times. We're going to help having them cut out the hassle of contacting multiple lending institutions where they have to keep applying, because we're going to do that legwork for them. Paid on a fee-based schedule. What does that mean? That means our fees are set with the bank. We have a margin set. Our margins are set. Unfortunately, I am a margin cutter, so I will cut margin and make a deal happen 100% to win a deal over. That's very, very, very rare day that I'm going to lose a deal. And then obviously we're responsible. They're at one point of contact, and that's the biggest thing. At one of these lending institutions, they'll talk to the loan officer, and then the loan will get passed off. Okay, it went from the LO, now it goes to processor A, then it goes to the second processor, and we don't work like that. Our client talks to one contact. So our client's going to talk to Leanette throughout the whole process, have everything there. They're never going to have a middleman in the middle of it, or somebody else coming in or asking for something that was already asked for. And it makes the process extremely seamless. And that's why we're able to get them closed so quickly. Whereas you see the lending institutions out there, direct lenders, don't have that opportunity. And they're compensated a lot different than we are. We get paid directly by the bank. These retail or direct lenders, they have a corporate office structure. You sign up for a branch, and basically you set a margin that they give you, and that's what your margin is. And you have no idea what they're raising the rates to in order to cover their expenses. You're also going to notice that retail institutions have a stack of fees. They've got an underwriting fee, which we do as well, but our underwriting fee is basically $1,100 with every bank. After that, you're going to also see that lending institutions have processing fees. They have, a document fee. They've got a third party, origination fees, all kinds of little things that add up that end up being anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 more on average than what we charge a consumer. You're also going to notice too, credit report fees being a lot higher with them as well. So your standard mortgage loan originator versus the broker, like I was telling you guys, honestly, this is pretty much a shortcut of what we just talked about. Just more options, more transparent for them. This is what I really wanted to kind of share with you guys, because the wholesale mortgage channel, mortgage brokers, we got a really bad rap in 2008. And you'll see the percentages of what it was. We used to basically do obviously every kind of loan out there. If you were in the business back in the day, if you had, I used to call it the heartbeat and the handshake, right? If you were able to shake my hand and you were walking and you had a 700 credit score, you were able to get a mortgage with no money down, buy a house. It was like you were even getting cash back at some of these closings. And some people that were selling real estate and doing loans back then will remember that. It kind of went down terribly where we're doing 1 in every 10 loans, sometimes even less. The market share that we've been able to claw back and gain after COVID has been huge, because mortgage brokers got the respect of being able to get consumers a better deal faster and make the closing more efficient. But for a long time there, and I've been in the broker world since 2001, we had a struggle against retail because we got that bad rap. Mortgage brokers were known for giving those terrible loans, those 1 1/4 pay option arms. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I didn't participate in it. They were giving us a product, we were selling it. So it's one of those, all those no income verification loans, all those things out there that did hurt the market and did make the market crash were done by mortgage brokers. That's all been corrected. So for what you guys know, the big correction was Dodd-Frank, and that's when we started. Thankfully, Dodd-Frank came in. You've heard the term QM and non-QM loans, and that's what really came in to fix this. So thankfully, we're in the broker channel now. We've been in the broker channel, and right now it's almost at 1 in 4 loans are now broker versus retail and other institutions. This is 27.4%. That was as of last year. This slide, I actually haven't had a new one because that's when I won an award, and I just kept it up there. But this slide is cool because that was 27. I think we're at 29% now, and we're just continuing to take the market share. If you guys, when you get the opportunity to start, listening to some of our meetings or come up to, UWM campus with us one day, you're going to see that the goal that UWM has, because they want to be the largest and they are the largest wholesale lender, they want to get the broker channel up over 50%. They want 1 in every 2 loans to go to a broker versus a retail institution. And they're really helping us push the market. So in summary, why choose us, right? Speed. I'm always going to be the guy that tells you speed sells everything. All right. Our technology and our reviews our reviews are huge. Google my company, you're not going to find anything negative, thankfully, at all. In fact, in the reviews that we write, you're going to notice it's like people actually write like nice long reviews and post pictures, and they're pretty happy with what we do. And we make sure that they get that 5-star experience, because I can tell you that that's where 90% of our business comes from, is referral business. I've been in the business for so long and have done so many loans that thankfully my business is constant referral business, and my guys here have a constant referral business. It's because we're able to get people's loans done fast and efficiently. And last but not least is our technology. We have the most cutting edge stuff. So I've been working with Leanette. I don't know if she's worked with any of you guys yet and giving you this yet, but we've got a portal where you guys get to have an application link that's shared with her so that you can see the process from start to finish. When a customer applies, you'll get like a QR code or a link where you guys both pop up on there. Once they make application, you're going to be notified. You'll be notified when they turn in their loan documents, when the loan's approved, appraisal, all this information comes to you. You'll get to see what's happening, as well as the fact is you'll get to also generate your own pre-approval letters. Once a buyer is approved and we set the parameters in there, if it's a Sunday and you're writing an offer at 10 p.m. at night, you don't have to wait for your LO. You can download your approval letter right away. If the house happens to be a little more money than what the original pre-approval was, you can put it in there and see if it'll work for this borrower or not. It's an incredible system. It's the most cutting edge technology. And we also have an incredible CRM, which if it were me and I was a buyer, I'd be annoyed, but it has like a good, 1 week follow-up system where it kind of just gives them a little nag or a touch for a week. And then at the end, it's like, hey, you're the one that raised your hand to show your interest. Are you sure you're not interested in getting this done? And it kind of gives them like a little guilt trip where they end up working out and working with us and trying to figure out what we can do. So our technology is always going to be cutting edge, and that's why we're going to keep continuing. I mean, my guys think I'm crazy, but we're on a 10-day closing. I want a 7-day closing. I want to close the minute trade allows you to close. That's where my goal is, and that's where I'm trying to direct the company. And I know 7 days sounds crazy, and I know some people don't want to move in 7 days, but if I can hand the seller a 7-day clear commitment, guess what? They're going to feel that much more confident. And they had their house done deal. There's no 30-day wait. Everybody here who's been on a listing side knows how that goes when you get that dreadful call. We need a 2-week extension. This happened on the file, and I got to get a cosigner, and I'm not into that. I hate that. We don't have that. And I can tell you, and Let's been in my office now several times, and she'll tell you how it works in here. We go through the file extremely thoroughly prior to prevent all those losses. And Lisa can vouch for it, and I know Carol can vouch for it. I don't think Lisa, have I ever had a deal and I told you, sorry, I can't close it, I approve? Doesn't happen. And it's like that for a reason. And actually, Lisa, I think I have a count. I looked quickly. I think we've closed 9 deals in the last 12 months. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
some back and forth referrals, absolutely. So Lisa's taking care of my clients really well. So, I'm here to help you guys, and some of the things that I'm going to do besides speed and all that great stuff, what I'm going to do is also give you guys a lot of value. What I mean by that is, I'm not into that just, semi deals. I want to help you guys try to earn business. So one of the big things that we do is we do a lot of different classes. We do lunch and learns. We do happy hours. I take people to UWM on a quarterly basis to train there. We're not just here to just put our hand out and say, please give me business. I want to show you value so that we can earn your business. And I can promise you that once you guys have your deals go through our experience in that channel, you'll understand and you'll see why people want to work with us. So I don't want to bore you guys too much or talk too much about it. I want to show you what we can do more than just tell you what I can do. So give us a shot, because I can guarantee you that you'll be pretty happy with it. So does anybody have any questions for me at the moment that you can think of, or has anybody ever had an experience with anybody at my office? I know we do a lot of business here in Broward. I know that I knew a couple people I've already named that I've seen. I'm trying to see other names in here, see if I know anybody else. Nope.
I have a question, Joey. Do you have
Yeah.
any in-house programs? And how do you go about disseminating information as to what's new in the market and so forth?
So once you're with us, we'll have you in our CRM. So you'll get communications through our CRM. So you'll be able to get any program knowledge out there, like anything that comes out new. I am going to tell you this, because this is one of the biggest things that I've learned in real estate, and I've learned this in my business. I don't want you guys to ever underqualify a borrower, right? So, like I always say, I'm big on stay in your lane. You guys are realtors, we're lenders. Just give us a chance to talk to the buyer to see what we can squeeze them into. Sometimes, like I had a buyer like a year ago that had no hope from doing it. Well, they qualified for the $100,000 down payment assistance in West Palm Beach, right? There's so much stuff out there that it's just hard for me to have. I can give you guys a million updates and I can send you guys every program out there, but all it's going to do is inundate you with information. Really, my biggest thing is just let us talk to them. And one thing I will tell you, which is huge, we don't need to like go, everybody always fearful of pulling credit. Well, so am I, because it costs $125 every time we pull credit. So believe me, I don't want to pull credit on somebody if I don't have to. We have a conversation with the buyer. So Lynette's heard me several times, heard my team. Our first main focus is budget, and that prevents things from not closing. So what we do is we go over their monthly payment goals. We go over how much money they have right now at this moment. We start poking around and asking if they can get any gifts or if they have any retirement funds that they can access. And we start setting up the picture and setting up the playbook. And then when we walk through their credit with them, we had them check the Experian app to get a free estimate on what their score is, because that's free, doesn't affect their credit, and it gives us a good idea. Then we can give them a budget of what they can actually buy and what kind of loan they can use. And then at that point, we move them forward into the full approval, where we actually give them that approval so that we'll pull credit hardly with a hard pull, so they can able to get this 10-day closing and get this done. So it's just a process that we've created. And as far as in-house programs go, everything we have is underwritten in-house. We have 4 people in our office. So it goes out to an investor for final underwriting, but everything's pre-underwritten in-house. That's why we're able to close them so quickly. The only stuff that we don't underwrite in-house is the non-QM stuff and the DSCR stuff. So DSCR and bank statement loans have to go out for an underwrite, which is an additional 2 days. Did that help you?
Yeah,
All right,
thank
cool.
you.
You're welcome.
Hey,
Is anybody
Joy,
working with a broker right now? Yep.
yeah, let me jump in on a couple things that I wrote
Sure.
down here that I think they should know about. One, we know that from time to time, or many times, when you're working with a buyer, and another reason why we made this decision is we've seen the shift in the market, and it's definitely becoming a buyer's market across the board. So if you are wanting to make as much money as possible, I believe that's the case. You want to build as big a buyer pool as you can, and you want as many of these folks to actually be able to buy. So that was a big part of it. Within that niche or that grouping, there's a niche that I have a personal desire to get involved in, and that's working with the VA program. We have found that fewer than 13 or 14% of veterans ever use the VA loan program. And I think that's shameful. Part of the problem is that so many myths and misunderstandings abound when it comes to this program. And it starts with the real estate agent. The minute that they see a veteran, they say, oh, no, 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 no. You don't want to use that loan, because they simply don't understand it. Joey has a passion for this type of loan. He has the knowledge. And what we want to do is combine the fact that since Gabi and I now acquired the military residential specialist certification, we would like to have as many of our agents be certified and qualified to work with veterans. And that is why we're going to do the following. Anybody that wants to take that course live and in person is coming up, I believe, on the 22nd and 23rd. Davey, you'll be able to pay for it from a future closing. We'll be able to go ahead and put that information out. We know money's tight, so we're going to give you the option to pay in full at a significant discount, but we're also going to give you the ability to pay from a future closing. We'll go ahead and bank on you so that we have you all comfortable working with VAs, and let's get a bunch of those in. The other thing I wanted to bring up is that you are going to have people to come to you that already have a pre-approval from some other bank. You know, it could be a bank, it could be Rocket Mortgage, it could be one of these. And what I have found is a lot of agents, especially if they're newer, don't feel comfortable, and at very least making the suggestion that they get a second opinion. I think too many agents is like, okay, they got Rocket Mortgage. You understand that a lot of those letters are not worth the paper that they're printed on. And you may be impressed when you see a Chase or one of these big banks. Ask Gabi, and in fact, I'll give her a chance in a second to talk about this horror story she just recently went through with a big bank. And let me tell you something, folks. A lot of these pre-approval letters, they might as well be from a company called ABC Mortgage Inc., and they spell Inc. I-N-K, because they have no clue what it is that they're doing. So how do you get somebody? How do you get someone that is all fired up, say, well, I got a pre-approval through ABC Mortgage? You say, well, here's how I would do it. And you guys, you know, who am I, right? What do I know about this? But I would go ahead and look at the approval and they say, so you were approved by ABC Mortgage Inc., huh? And I would do this. You notice I did that? I went, and the person will say, what's wrong? I go, well, see, have you ever worked with this company before? And what do you think their answer is going to be? No. Yeah, well, I do this for a living, and I've never heard of this company. Or I do this for a living, and I've come to learn that you always want to get a second opinion. Because what's the worst that can happen? A, they come back and say, wow, you're getting an amazing deal. We can't touch it. Or B, they find out that what this other company proposed was ridiculous, not really even operational, and could cost you significantly more. Never be afraid to go ahead and say, what would it cost you to get a second opinion? This is the single largest purchase you're going to be making. And I would say that, I go, folks, you think this is going to be the biggest purchase you're ever going to make? Yeah. Well, yeah. So do you want to trust it to someone who you just found online? Or do you want to give a shot to someone that I know, like, and trust? And I do this for a living. So what do you think, Joy? You think that might be an effective script to try to get someone to at least give us a shot at the business?
Yeah, you know, it's great. It's funny you say that. One of my scripts with that is that I tell people, listen, I shop a TV and I go to 2 or 3 different retailers to make sure I'm getting the same deal or the best deal on the TV. And I want to make sure, and I'll do that to save $100. So why would I not want to do that for a 30-year commitment? Because the mortgage is a 30-year commitment typically. And not to mention, we don't have to pull their credit to give them a second opinion, which is what everybody's biggest fear is. That's like fear number one. So believe me, a conversation doesn't ever hurt. And 9 times out of 10, when they have that conversation, it's a win for us because they know, okay, well, wait a minute, this is a way better deal. And we can a lot of times we can increase their buying power. And one thing I forgot to mention, because there's just a lot of stuff that we do, which you'll learn and get educated on. You guys know that Florida, we have the most condos in the country. If you didn't know that, Florida's got 50% of the country's condo population. I think we have 1.6 million condo units. And that's 50% of the country's population of condos. Well, in this market, and I'm sure everybody in here has experienced it, you go under contract, you find out it can't get financing because condos are not just the buyer has to get approved, but so does the condo. Well, we are experts in condo underwriting. We know how to review insurance. We know how to review the budget. We know how to find out. Since I work with 11 different institution banks, I can look on their condo list and see if they've recently closed one. I'm not just tied to one bank. We've got a condo team that helps get all the documentation for us. So we run quickly on the condo ball and we're experts at it. So I can help you on the buyer side, or if you're listing one, if you're going to list a condo, I always would tell you, please do me a favor, get me the budget, get me the insurance. So I can tell you what kind of financing you're looking at. And a lot of times that helps my agents a lot. It's just showing you value of what I can do for you to help you increase your business. You know, a lot of people are said like it's a slower market. You know, I don't really feel that way. We've been able to grow year after year. We're up 30% from last year. We were 24% the year prior. It's just what we've learned is speed and education of the buyers. And if you provide people the quality and the service and you are the expert, they feel it and they know it, and the deal just happens. It's just you have to have that confidence, and we know how to help them. And if you can lead somebody in the direction to where they're having a conversation with somebody that knows what they're talking about, it works a lot better. It's just a better leverage. At the end of the day, what I like to tell people is, I know you're going to refer them to me. If I do a bad job, they're not going to be mad at me. They're going to be mad at you for referring them. And that's where the issue lies. So we want to make sure that we don't ever drop the ball. Just like our title partners don't ever drop the ball. You guys know New World is a huge, great company. I've worked with them for many years. I've known Rudy for 20 years. So, you know, people that have been in this industry forever, we all know each other. And that's just how you know, and you partner yourself with the right people, the transaction goes smoothly and we generate referral business. And that's how it goes. Realistically.
That's a great point. The condo's huge. And also you're gonna have scenarios where you're the listing agent, the buyer finds out that they can't qualify or something like that. Those are tremendous opportunities to say, hold on a second. Before you guys walk away, before you give up, I want you to talk to our lender. Because if it's doable, they'll make it happen. So don't just, don't think outside the box. You could be the listing agent and save your own deal because the buyer's agent had no clue or they were working with a terrible lender. Gabby, if you could.
Tony, I'm sorry. I just wanted to just kind of get in there really quickly because what you just said was very, it really struck something with me because when I met Joey the first time, he was talking about my daughter's loan and she had just become a nurse, right? And so my daughter is very tenacious. She found a place she wanted to go into and she was turned down over and over and over for financing because she had just gotten her degree. I was not a real estate agent at the time. One of the agents or an agent that she was working with introduced her to Joey. And when she said to Joey, I really want to buy something, I've got my degree, and he goes, okay, well, let's do it. He got her a great loan. When everybody else said no, he did it. And that, what you were just saying, don't just say, oh, okay, you don't qualify. I'm telling you, turn them over to this company because you never know. And my daughter has now closed, I think, 3 loans with Joey.
She bought in the vineyards and she bought a condo too. It was a little challenging back then.
Sure
she bought in the
did.
vineyards of Plantation, first deal.
That was her first purchase. That's exactly right. So Joey just
here's a homework
made it
assignment.
happen.
Here's a homework assignment. Any one of you that's had a deal or a buyer that you've been working with that a lender said, no, I'm sorry, you don't qualify right now, they were turned down. What an amazing opportunity to reach out to them again. So you guys just got to start digging through those. And I'll tell you what, guys, the timing is amazing because rates are going to come down. It's already a given that at the next Fed meeting, I think it's going to be the 15th or the 17th, they're probably going to announce some kind of a rate reduction. And so I think the timing is amazing now for you to build your buyer pool. Speaking of which, I want to turn it over to Gabby really, really quick. And then I want to make a couple of quick announcements on some things that we have planned that are not only going to be, I think, great lead generation opportunities for you, but also some things that can also be fun as well. So Gabby, just quickly share the deal that you recently closed in Davie. What happened on the day supposedly of closing, the day that was going to close on this near $1 million property. You were representing the seller and the seller was also closing on a purchase as well. What happened on closing day?
So hi everyone. So real quick, something that you probably have heard before, especially from me, when we accepted that offer, I was very hesitant because the offer came along with a pre-approval from a big bank, which I'm not going to say the name, but I was not a big fan of that bank either because I don't like big banks. They don't know what they're doing. But the buyers were very adamant that they wanted to use that bank because they have all their portfolio and all their money and blah, blah, blah. I told the buyer's agent, I'm going to tell my seller my opinion about that bank because all the previous experiences have been devastated. So I told my seller and my seller is like, well, I guess we will play along and see what happens. And the day of the closing, the buyer's agent called me. It was like 9 a.m. in the morning. And the first thing that came out of my mouth as soon as I answered the phone is like, I don't like this phone call. Why are you calling me? And she's like, you were so right about it. This bank, they're like giving me hard time to my buyers. So we're not going to be able to close. I almost die. And by the way, it was my 25th wedding anniversary. I was about to celebrate, right? I was on the celebration mood. I was going to have a closing, and I was turning 25 years with Tony and everything. So she was very apologetic, and she's like, no, they're giving the buyer a hard time because a document, because something is missing, and they want him to show that proof of document. So it's going to be another 2 weeks. And my client, the seller, was closing in a property the very next day. It was falling apart. It was truly falling apart. The buyer ended buying the property cash. So she's like, you know what? The buyers are not going to wait. They're going to pay cash so we can all close and everybody can close, and your seller and the buyer. So lesson learned, it's not because you don't want them to work with a particular bank. And Joy can affirm this. A bank can be amazing, treating you as a customer with your portfolio, your savings, your whatever investments you have. But mortgage is a different scenario. It's totally different. It's too many people, too many departments, different time zones, and they really don't care about customer service. They might close the deal, but no, in the day that you have on your contract, they don't go by that. So whenever you have a situation that somebody comes to you with a pre-approval from a big bank, just share the story. Share the story. And it's really scary. If these people didn't have the money, cash, the $987,000, my client's deal will have fallen apart. And the sellers of the house that she was buying, they were buying a home out of state.
Yeah,
so there were 3 transactions.
Yeah.
It was a whole nightmare. So
on our anniversary. That was so much fun. I
Yes.
remember. Yeah,
yes.
it was,
So thank God. I put it in God's hands, and miracles happen. But please don't use big banks. That's all I
Yeah.
can tell you.
And
Please.
even if you do get a big bank approval, just ask them to get a second, because I can tell you we beat the bigger banks all the time. It's not a thing that we don't. It's a pretty simple process for us to beat them. We're lower than them.
Okay, so let's go on, because I know we're running. I want to make sure that we're done on time. So lead generation. We think one of the best ways for you guys to build a buyer pipeline is through home buying seminars. So we're going to go back to doing home buying seminars. I think the first one we're going to do is going to be in October, because we think a Saturday is best, and we have to work around family events and everything else. So we'll have a date to announce probably within the next couple of days. We'll have a date. We want to give it enough time for you all to have at least a good 30 days to promote this. It'll be a hybrid one. It'll be live and in person at our training center in Davie, but we're also going to plug in Zoom for folks that can't be there live and in person. You all will have a flyer that you can personalize, and you can go out there and just start promoting the heck out of it. And let's get folks pre-approved right there on the spot. So stay tuned for that. The other announcement I want to make is next quarter, we are going to select, I don't know, Joey will probably tell me, anywhere from 8 to 10 Xtreme agents to join us on a trip to Michigan. How many of you would be interested to go on this all expense paid or trip to Michigan? And the reason why Michigan, if you're going, God, why am I going to Michigan? It's because UWM, the largest lender in the world, that's where they're based out of. And from what I hear, it's like a small city. And it's an amazing training and networking and team building opportunity. So just I want to make sure this may be something you don't even care about, but if you had a chance to get away for a couple of days, the flights paid for, the hotels paid for, food, some drinks, some fun. Would there be anybody that would be interested in going on a trip like that? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, so here's what you need to do. You got to earn your way on that trip. Okay, you got to earn a seat, not at the table. Well, I guess the table, but on the plane and everything else. So show us what you can do. Show us how you can support this new endeavor of ours over the next couple of months. And then you might just earn your way on that trip. Okay. So Leanette Fernandez, we have kept you, we've saved the best for last. So you believe in having fun, right, Leanette? You're a fun person, right?
I love having fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And Joey likes having fun.
Yeah, he's actually a fun dude.
What do you mean actually a fun
I'm
dude?
just saying,
Yeah,
I'm getting to know
I'm
him
not that
now.
serious. I'm not that serious.
Yeah.
Getting to know him now. We've worked together a lot the last few weeks, training and everything else. I love his
Yeah.
sense of humor. So yes.
Yeah, you got to have a sense of humor to work around us. And do you have anything that might be a social thing, anything at all that might get some of the folks in here excited to talk about?
Yes, we are gonna host a happy hour for you to get to meet the team on October 7th. More details to follow, but save the date. We're thinking maybe between 5 and 7 happy hour time. So October 7th, please save the date. More details to follow.
And it's going to be at it's going to be at some restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Somewhere Central and Broward. Central and Broward.
Yes.
Okay. So save the date. What is that? I think that's
It's a Tuesday, October 7th.
okay. Fantastic. Okay.
We also have another event. Do you have that image, or am I just?
Oh yeah. So maybe that's not necessarily a fun event.
Oh, we make
Well,
everything fun.
Yeah, but you know what is fun? Closing and getting a check. That's fun.
That is fun. That is fun.
So this next thing you're going to talk about could help them to get a closing and a check, right?
Absolutely. So
what
we're
do you
gonna
got going?
You're gonna show them the image, or am I just talking about it?
Well, I don't. You can show the image. You can share. You're a co-host.
Nah, it's okay. I'll just share it and I'll post it in the WhatsApp group. So on October 1st, which is a Wednesday, we're going to host a mortgage mastermind, but it's going to be a lunch and learn at the training center from 12:30 to 2 p.m. So I'll post more information about that, but save the date. We will serve you lunch, and then we're going to go through essentially how to help you make more money with some tips. Joey?
Yeah, we'll debunk a bunch of myths too, right? Get those questions out of the way. The ones that everybody wants to always wonder, like, is FHA really a one-time use, or just different, get through those myths and those mysteries so you guys can really get some good information and get sharpened up on mortgages. So when someone talks to you, you are the expert.
Yeah, and even like the script that you mentioned earlier, sort of like how you can transition and refer us. So just to give you some practice when it comes to that. So October 1st, lunch and learn at the training center from 12:30 to 2, and then October 7th, happy hour at a restaurant to be determined. We're firming that up now, or soon rather, and that's about October.
Most likely a bar versus the restaurant.
Oh, but they don't like
Hours are more
bars.
bars.
No.
Joey, Xtreme's not about like drinking or anything like that. They're just
Well,
they don't like that.
restaurant, bar, okay.
I'm seeing a couple.
Veto.
Yeah, I was ready for Bettina to be like, nah.
Yeah.
No, Xtreme knows how to have fun, so we are gonna make it fun for you guys. We promise.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm going to give a shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to when someone's committed to getting the training and participating as a team, they'll move mountains. Look at Leanette Martinez up there. She's there babysitting. She's got a baby in her hand,
Her
and the
grandbaby?
baby's crying right now. Yet she has not turned the camera off. She has not left the Zoom.
It's your
She's
daughter.
been all in. Now tell me, is that extreme or is that extreme? I love that.
I was like, wait, oh man, I got a meeting. I got to make this work. It's my granddaughter.
Oh
beautiful.
no, your granddaughter.
That's why I said it. I was like, I hope I'm
What?
not wrong. I don't want to offend her, but I knew it was her granddaughter.
Whatever you're doing, keep doing it because it's working.
Thank you.
So
By the way, I do have a question
Mhm.
for Joey. I have a client we're looking to find them a home, and they have cryptocurrency. And I want to see if you work with those type of loans.
Yep, we know how to get the crypto in the bank so we can use it. Absolutely. There's a process for it, so the sooner we can talk to them, the better.
And how long would that closing, those type of closings?
No, it's fast. The biggest thing is they have to be able. It depends on where they have their crypto. So if it's in the thumb drives, it takes a little longer. If they
Mhm.
have it in Coinbase, it's a little easier. So it depends on where they have their money.
Yeah. I
Some
think
people mine crypto like 15 years ago, and they have them in the drives, and that's a little bit. That takes a little bit longer. That you're gonna have to get into. You're gonna have to move it into like a Coinbase and then move it into a transaction. But if it's already in Coinbase, then that's not a big deal.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There might be a training session that to do a class on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Crypto's fun.
Okay. As long as you can handle it, that sounds
It
good.
can be done.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
Let's get that going. So I don't know if we have any exact dates for the next trip, but it happens every quarter, right, Joey? So it would be like the next one might be right after the first of the year, or is there going to be another one before the end of the year?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, we can probably plan one in December, but it is cold in Michigan in December.
thank
I've
you.
been there. So January is cold too, and so is February. So just whoever likes winter, it's nice. It's nice to see white snow.
Well, the training is indoors, right?
No, it's
And
outdoors.
training's indoors. Go walk
the drinking and eating, if there's any drinking and eating, happens indoors, right?
Yeah, just walking from the transportation, it's a little chilly.
I was told that there's also a snack cart that comes by in the afternoon.
Power cart, yeah. It's a good time. You'll see. You guys will have a good time.
All right, so
Carol, have you been
potentially,
before, Carol?
so we might be able to put one together in December. Okay, all right, so we'll discuss that, and then you know what you have to do in the meantime. We need you to start bringing us the opportunities. You got to bring us the opportunities. Your good looks, your smile, and all that. I love it. Not enough. We need deals. We need deals. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions for Joey, Leanette, myself, Gabi? And if no questions, reactions. Tell us. Are you excited about this development, this new relationship, and what we can do?
Over the moon.
Well, if I may, if Lisa says they are awesome and Lynette joined, I have no doubt. I'm going to try them out. And I did already send 2 referrals to Lynette.
Yes, thank you guys so much for your support. I'm excited, you guys, and having
too.
been training with him the last couple weeks, like he's on it. We're gonna get stuff done. I'm confident. I'm pumped. So we're gonna make this happen.
All right. Fantastic. Well, Gabi, any last words from the boss?
No, I'm very excited. I know that when you have somebody backing you up, in this case, a company that has a proven record to closing transactions, it makes your life easier. You know, that only you have to do is basically continue talking about real estate and knowing that somebody's going to close your transactions. I know that Joey, it's in the process of saving a transaction with a condo, where one of our agents is buying a property for herself and another condo issue, but I just overheard that you are able to save that transaction, so.
We're moving forward.
I love it. I love it. All right. So in closing, for those of you that are eligible for that prize, we made it very clear what the conditions were. No complaining. The rules are the rules. We're going to announce the winner tomorrow because we're going to put it all and spin it and everything else. But I will guarantee you the winner will not be Art Fernandez and will not be TJ. It won't be my sister as much as she wants. It ain't gonna be her either.
Or Gabby, or Tony, or Lynette, or Joey. Yes, we've all been disqualified.
So it's gonna be one of you all that was here the entire time and had your cameras on. So we're gonna start doing more of these rewards because it's important for our community, for us to get full engagement. And I thank you for being on the call, and all of you, but especially those that were there from the very beginning to the very end. we're going to have an amazing year. The year's not over. There's still some great things that can happen between now and the end of the year. We're there as team leaders, as staff, to support you every step of the way. Don't hesitate to ask, but do your part. When we schedule something, when we got the training, be there. And then when we give you the training, implement what you learn. And I assure you, some wonderful things are going to happen. All right, Joey, thank you so much. We appreciate this opportunity you have extended to us. Leanette, I'm excited that you're part of this as well. It would not have been the same if my baby girl was not part of it as well. And it's going to be amazing. And we look forward to bringing as many people on this next trip to Michigan as possible. All right. God bless all of you.
All right.
Be extreme.
Good night,
Talk
everyone.
later. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.